Hello, hello, and welcome once again to another beautiful day at the DoPL Arcade. This is the Die or Pass Level Podcast. Brandon, tell everyone how you're doing today.
I feel like I'm getting pulled in all sorts of directions thanks to this gravity gun. Like a gravity gun, you know what I mean?
Okay. Actually, let's riff on that a little bit. I kind of feel a little bit like that as well. August is a crazy month in my household. It's my birthday. It's my daughter's birthday 2 days prior to mine. It's my mom's birthday on the same day as mine. It's my nephew's birthday on the same day as mine. And my dad's is on the 31st. I love it, but it takes a toll, man. I'm like right at the finish line, and I'm feeling really excited to kind of take a breather.
Yeah, Ray. Speaking of your birthday, why don't you tell the all the guests what I gifted you for your day? I think they'd be very interested in that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm getting at. So I went over and visited Bran Bran out on his neck of the woods, literal woods. He took me to an awesome place called Double Jump. I could have been there for hours and hours and hours. We were permitted only about 45 minutes or something. There's a lot going on, busy weekend. They had this little case full of video game instruction manuals for SNES, N64, and the nostalgia that those things brought me. Here, let me get it. It's a little show and tell. This is the Mario 64 instruction booklet from way back in the day. It looks pretty mint too, I'm not gonna lie. I was telling Brandon, it's such a weird choice for them to have put Mario like getting burnt by Bowser on the instruction manual of his video game, but whatever.
Yeah. It is a wild choice.
And over the weekend, I went to Barcade, close to your old stomping grounds, Bran Bran. Yeah. And it's my birthday, right? So everyone was wanting to treat me to a drinky poo. You know, let me get you your next shot. Let me get you your next cocktail. I'm not one that likes to get super over the top blasted. So at some point, I was just like, guys,
stop.
Get me tokens. Yeah. Just get me tokens
Yeah.
instead. So I'm set, baby. I'm set.
That bar also is the frequent location of, you may have seen that one guy that does the double guns for Time Crisis.
No
way.
He
comes in wearing the gun holster and he plays Time Crisis, never loses a life, doesn't ever take a hit, but with both guns. You may have seen him on the internet.
That's him? He's there?
He goes there all the time.
That's
his spot. He shows up, doesn't say a word, plugs his tokens in, lets people take videos of him, and then he just leaves without saying a word. That's his move. He beats the game and then he leaves.
All right, check this out, Brandon. I am manifesting this right now. If you're listening, and I know you are, Time Crisis guy, I'm tagging you, I'm finding you, you're watching this, get on this podcast, man. Let's talk about it. I want to know all about your strategies, the time it took for you to perfect this performance. I want to hear all about it. We also played Pac-Man Battle Royale. Have you guys ever played that one? Or sorry, it's just me and you, Brandon. Have you ever played that one, Brandon?
No, I haven't.
So it's Pac-Man with a twist. It's 4 players and you're at this, classic kind of old school Shakey's Pizzeria table setup where you're looking down at the screen and everyone's got their joysticks all around the table. You get the pellets and it makes you bigger, and it's like a battle royale, last man standing. Mm-hmm. Best time ever, dude. It was like a circle of all of us, like characters in Street Fighter in the background.
I've always wanted to play that game, but I just never have enough people with me to actually go ahead and do it.
It was so fun that me, my brother, and a few other people were like, dude, is this available on consoles? And so with like the gift cards I was given for my birthday, I found it. It's not online, unfortunately, but I think it's a good one to have when you have company over. It's just so intuitive. Pac-Man is just like up, down, left, right. Anyone kind of can pick it up. And that's, I think, what was the magic about it. They were like parents who were there just to wish me a happy birthday, who don't care about video games, that were having the best time. This is what it's all about, man. Any new games you're playing, Brandon, or anything new in your gaming life?
Still cruising through 1,000 Times Resist. I mean, it's beautiful. I think that the story and how they're unraveling the story is very masterful. It's not a game, though. You're kind of walking through the motions and you're not really even solving puzzles, really. I don't know.
It's a book. Like, it's a novel you play through, almost.
Yeah. It's very beautiful. I hope I don't get some hate for this, but I was like, man, this is getting such like accolades and like high praise. It is beautiful. Very beautifully written, but I was like, this ain't a game though, guys.
That was Brandon's statement, not mine.
I'm getting roasted. I'm getting roasted.
Yeah, no, I feel you, though. Something for everybody, I guess, right? But I saw that one and I was like, not for me. But I'm glad it exists for those who, like those kind of walking simulators.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Very,
Mhm.
very cool.
But I'm determined to beat this one because I need to get to Outer Wilds. That's going to be my next one for sure.
I told you while I was out visiting you, but I stopped getting all the bananas in Donkey Kong, dude. I will just live in that game until, my 60th birthday if I keep playing that. So I'm strictly going for the story beats, releasing this spell that it has on me, and moving on. It's like the year of the ninja, dude. Shinobi, Ninja Gaiden 4 on Xbox is coming out, and early impressions are that one's good. I'm like,
Ghost of Tsushima, right? The sequel's coming out too.
yeah, so I'm gonna beat Donkey Kong and I'm gonna move over to some other games. Wait, Brandon! Oh my goodness! Not again!
A new challenger approaching.
Fucking, who can it be? Check it out! It's Wiley. How you doing, Wiley?
I'm well. Thank you guys for having me on the podcast. I've watched all your episodes and they're great, and it's made me think deeply about my childhood and gaming and brought up a lot of memories. I'm excited to talk about them, and I think, the contrast is that I lived on a different platform than you guys did. Listening to all your stories from a PC landscape, I was like, oh, wow. Well, while they were playing this game, I remember playing this game. It brought back a flood of memories. Yeah, I'm excited to be here and talk about them.
Wylie Overstreet is first and foremost just a dear childhood friend of mine. We go back way back to elementary school days. He is a filmmaker, the co-creator of the To Scale series. Why? Give me that one-liner pitch. I'm not gonna do it justice. Give me that one-liner pitch for the To Scale series for everyone.
Yeah, so basically, we are trying to bring a very cinematic perspective onto the scales of the universe by recreating them in giant physical places. So, building a solar system out in the desert, or illustrating the history of the universe with a big line of lights. Like, this is the kind of stuff that we try and do these really cool productions that express fundamental truths about our universe.
Where can they check that out? Why?
Yeah, if you just go to YouTube and type in to scale, like not the number two, but TO scale, like something built to scale, it should bring up the channel. And yeah, we're working on a few other things for that now. Actually, we might pivot out of space and time and all things universe into a more social lens and take a look at things like wealth. So a lot of cool projects coming up. That's the hard things to think about. Games and playing games is the easy fun stuff.
Sometimes you gotta turn your brain off
Oh, dude,
and just,
yeah,
sit back and enjoy a nice little walking simulator.
exactly. Exactly.
All right, so yeah, it's very interesting for sure that like as I lived my childhood in the console world with NES, Super Nintendo for Christmas, N64, somewhere on the other side of the world, there was a little Wiley
With a
Overstreet.
keyboard and mouse being like
Give us a flavor of some of those early ones that you were playing.
So, I mean, what was interesting about PC gaming when we were kids is that the whole state of the art was maturing. Like, processing power was increasing. And so it felt like the step changes were just so rapid. Even though, like, in retrospect, going from 16-bit graphics to 32-bit graphics was, like, not revolutionary. But yeah, so
Hey,
my.
take it back, Wiley.
You're right. No, it was huge. It was also the time that we started to get computers in classrooms. And Brandon, I know you and I went to the same elementary school, so you remember playing games in classrooms, and a lot of those were the sort of Broderbund. Do you remember that publisher?
Oh yeah, they did Carmen San
Like,
Diego.
yeah, Carmen San Diego. I don't know if they were the Mavis Bacon teaches typing folks, but I feel like they may have been.
Mm.
They obviously wanted you to learn how to like calculate the pounds of oxen that you need to carry across the Oregon Trail and like learn math. But I do feel like it was a hook. I was like, this is cool, man. I'm fording a river. Like that original glider game on Mac where you were a paper airplane and you could,
Oh
fly down
right.
these levels and then get lifted up by the air drafts, and there are rubber bands, I think, and like electrical outlets. And
Were you doing Incredible Machine too? The Incredible Machine series?
oh my God, yes,
That's what it's all about,
yes.
baby.
Forgot about
I
that
was like,
game. Oh man, yeah, I hadn't even thought of that till now. Boy, some neurons just lit up that are like 32 years old. But yeah, I think that's sort of where it started for me was like I had a computer at home because my mom worked at a PC company. And so we sort of had this pipeline of pretty good hardware coming in. The early 90s, I think, were a golden era for PC gaming where you had publishers like Sierra. Space Quest was like a big one for me. I remember feeling like this game is too old for me and I love it. The jokes are just like a little too adult.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
the hero's name's Roger Wilco, which is so funny, and I didn't get that
yeah.
until I was an adult.
Guys, I still don't get it.
You're talking on the radio.
Why am
Roger
I
will
dumb?
cooperate, I think. And
Oh, I see, I see.
um,
Roger, comma, Wilco. Got it, got it, got it.
yeah. But I don't
I'll
know. I
edit that
think,
out.
this was an era when like also games, Brandon, I know you've talked about this a lot, but like the story element of games was so much more front and center, where the game itself was clicking on just sentences of text of like what you would do next or what you would say next. Trying to figure out what Roger Wilco needed to do to like advance past that screen was such a fun puzzle. It also was like an illustration of you could do so much with so little. It was cool.
I
Then
mean,
I would
I
go
get.
over to your house, Brandon, and you were playing, console games, and I was like, oh no.
I mean, we did a lot of GoldenEye, right? We did
Oh, a ton of GoldenEye.
fast forwarding a little bit here. We're going off a little bit off the time, but like in our early 20s, like we were doing Smash all the time on the
Yeah.
64.
Respect.
Yeah, I mean, Ray, I know your legend precedes you, and I've seen it in action, but Brandon was my Ray. And I don't know if I ever legitimately beat him without a huge stock or
No,
whatever.
your Link was very good. Why? Don't discredit. Your
I
Link was
mean,
very
to a
very good.
point. I felt like I was such a basic player. You're like, "Bloop, bloop, bloop, bloop."
Sometimes that's all you need, though, you know?
I mean, TF2 was a big part of our early 20s too. I feel
That's
like when
true.
that came out, the Orange Box came out 2005, and that.
Actually, I did some research.
Oh,
Team Fortress 2 launched in 2007 with the Orange Box. It's one of
oh,
the first games to use free-to-play
I
microtransactions.
did not know that.
another way Valve absolutely printed money in that era.
Orange Box was a collection of games, right? It was really well received when it released. So you're telling me that Team Fortress 2 didn't exist until this collection released? Is that correct?
Yeah, because the historians in the comments maybe should correct me, but I feel like the Orange Box came out after Half-Life 2 dropped, but then had a compendium of other games. Portal was the real sleeper hit. It was like this 1 hour playthrough that brought in a really cool dynamic in the way of the Portal gun. And then it was this bait and switch that I don't want to spoil it, but halfway through,
It's been a few years.
you start to realize that this isn't just your average puzzle game, and story kind of comes crashing through the wall, literally, I think. And yeah, so 5 games including TF2, and I remember people being just like, this is incredible, like this is so generous. But to your point, Ray, I mean, TF2, the money was to be made in having people download it for free.
I want to jump back to Portal because I got a funny story about what you're actually talking about. I remember having a friend who had Portal at home. I didn't have it yet, and we were all clamoring to play it because we'd seen trailers and the tech was so cool and like the way it was letting you travel in
Mm.
like an entirely new way. I was like, dude, I gotta go play it. And I was like, can I come over and play Portal? He's like, yeah, it's cool. I already beat it. He's like, the ending's so dumb. You just like fall into a fiery pit and you die, and that's the end of the game. I go over to his house, and me and my brother, I think, go over, and like he falls into the fiery pit. And he's like, "See?" Me and my brother just looked at each other like, and we both instantly knew, like, dude, this is not how the game ends.
Yeah, yeah.
Give me the control.
This speaks to a line that Brando, you and I used to say to each other all the time when we lived together in like the early 2000s. When you come up against that moment where you're like, no, something's not right. You got to think like a game designer.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
no, I put a portal there.
That was our way to mock each other. Gotta think our game designer.
Maybe you should think more like a game designer, bro.
Basically, you're about halfway through the game at that point. There's so much more after that little part. Like the real game kind of starts, I feel like, after that.
Totally. It is like the second act turn, essentially. I've learned the mechanic, and now suddenly something twists everything, and you're like, oh, whoa, I'm not in the world I thought I was.
Now you're escaping this lab.
Back then, I used to refer to Valve as the Pixar of video games. Like consistent graphics, fun. You knew what you were getting. You were going to get a great story. You were going to get some great characters. I mean, that was truly like golden era.
I mean, the craftsmanship level, that's what it felt like to me. I remember picking up Half-Life 2. I played Half-Life 1 when I was probably too young for it. It was thrilling. It was great. But then Half-Life 2 came out my senior year of college, and I was like done with my thesis and stuff. So I was kind of cruising, and I stayed up for 3 nights straight. I pulled an all-nighter playing that game the first time I sat down to play it because it felt like the craftsmanship was at such a different level, and it was so immersive, and I was so hooked, and the serotonin was so pumping. I remember turning and just seeing that my window had light in it, and I was like, no way did I just play all night. And for sure I did. And I was like couldn't have been happier.
The influences to this day, Wylie is
Totally.
cosplaying right now as Gordon Freeman. Get a crowbar
True.
in that man's hands.
Gordon
I know.
Freeman with contact
Just been-
lenses.
I've just been heading towards this final destination of Gordon Freeman.
Dude, I remember one of the things that blew my mind when I was playing Half-Life. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2. I definitely played both. The AI for the enemies was unlike any other game. Like, they could learn. That was the coolest thing. I was like, wait, they can throw your grenades back at you? They would scurry, right? They wouldn't just sit there and take the
call
grenade.
it back up. You would hear them radioing, like, he's over here.
Yeah,
And you're
I was like,
whoa. Hold on.
It blew.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
It blew my mind because, like in other first-person shooters like GoldenEye, right? They're not really ducking, hiding, running away, strategizing.
Yeah.
And this was the first game I was like, this is revolutionary in a way that enemies are engaging with me. Oh man,
Yeah.
so good, so good.
I sat down and did a little research on all things Valve just to prepare a little bit. Do I need to play this game? Like, does it hold up?
Oh, dude. 100% it holds up. Even graphically, it holds up somehow. The Source engine, when it came out, was like jaw-dropping. There was a demo that came out before Half-Life where they just had a Strider coming through the city. And I just remember being like, we've crossed some Rubicon here.
Wylie's favorite level of all time, and it's still like so iconic. People still talk fondly of this one level.
We don't go to Ravenholm. Valve was like, here's an action game. Here's like a thrilling chase. You're going to fight a helicopter. Oh, record stop. Now we're in a horror game. And for one...
I have heard people say Half-Life is scary.
Yeah.
And this must be why.
For one chapter, you're like, holy moly, I am got the tingles. I cannot play with the lights off. This is not what I was expecting, and is such a refreshing change in the menu. It was, I think, iconic. And then using the gravity gun to get yourself through it, because I think it's not long after you acquire it, or maybe it's immediately after you acquire it, that they're like, okay, here's this weapon. Now you have to go that way. So you get to use this weapon, essentially fend off enemies you've never encountered before that scare the pants off you. So memorable.
Before I moved to Los Angeles, he was going to college at Occidental. I went to go visit him when I was close to graduating, just so I could, because I was thinking about making the move to Los Angeles. And I was like, I need to get a flavor of like what this city's about, if I'm actually going to move here. I don't remember anything about LA. I don't even think we went and saw anything. We didn't do anything. I was playing Half-Life 2 in Wylie's room the entire game.
Yeah.
I completely wasted that trip.
It's an almost windowless tiny room.
We were just playing Half-Life 2.
So I'm gonna probably have to revoke my gaming card here with this question, but explain to me what the gravity gun is and what it does. I know it exists, but I've never wielded one myself.
The gravity gun was, I think, like just a masterstroke of gameplay innovation. It is a gun that with a right click sucks an object towards it and holds it in sort of stasis. And then with a left click sends it flying, all physics appropriate, right? So if you hold a barrel with it, that barrel is going to have the mass and do the destruction that the potential energy of that barrel should do. And so it brought in this whole other way of interacting with your environment as a weapon. You're back into a corner and a zombie's coming up and you grab a can of paint and shoot its head off. And not only that, it's covered in paint now. And it's just like one of those things where you're like,
Yeah. And there was nothing else like it. There was nothing. No one else is doing that, right? I mean, it was the first time that idea was ever introduced.
It revolutionized physics-based gameplay.
I mean, I think that was a watershed moment. How you are introduced to the gun was also genius, because that's when they brought in the character of Dog. I don't know if you remember, like you like head out to this little junkyard essentially, and Dog comes rolling up. Dog, by the way, Ray, is this giant robotic dog, and you play catch with it. You play fetch. Such a moment of levity and fun that teaches you how to use the gun perfectly. And then off you go to Ravenholm. I will finance your Half-Life 2 adventure.
Yeah, that's when when you should play, Ray. Yeah, you should do that one.
I think the invention of Steam was both a masterstroke and maybe their undoing, because Steam is just an absolute money machine. And if they became the iTunes of PC gaming, I think it consumed their focus, and it's just like this immense profit center that pulled them away from
making a third version of any of their games.
Yeah, exactly. Though apparently the rumor mill is fire right now with a imminent Half-Life 3. So
I feel like that rumor mill has been on fire for about 15 years, though. Why?
Totally.
I learned that Steam was actually initially just created for like modding of their games, and
Yeah.
it just slowly transitioned into being this marketplace for video games on your PC or
Yeah.
computer.
Totally.
They've cornered the market on that one for sure.
Totally. Yeah. And they do a good job too. Like I think Steam is a great platform to discover indie content, and you guys were talking about Ultimate Chicken Horse, and we played that recently, and I was like, I would never discover this if Steam weren't like, hey, what's on special that you might like? Here you go, check it out.
Did you guys ever play Emily is Away? It's like an indie
Mm-mm.
game. It's probably like $5, but its interface is an old AIM screen. Emily is Away, right? It's like a text-based, like kind of like story. It's a very short game, but like you're typing,
Yeah,
and you can't do that on it's just not the same. You got to be
it's
able to type
true.
it.
Truly the fundamental difference. My thesis is that essentially all games are computer games. It just depends on what box they come wrapped in, and I think that's a differentiator. Like my skill set was built on a keyboard and mouse. My FPS prowess, whatever I have, requires this thing right here. And as soon as I pick up sticks, I feel left-handed.
My brother was trying to I mean, because we played a lot of Overwatch too, right? Why? And then I remember my brother was like trying to get me to play it on the PlayStation. I was like, I can't switch back over.
For me, it's the opposite. Switch 2 just came out with a feature that lets you use your Joy-Con as a mouse. Well, this is clearly the superior way to play FPSs for accuracy, for speed. I'm going to figure this out and do it. So I tried it on Apex Legends, and I'm just like, whoa. So unwieldy. Definitely a whole different beast to manage, and I'm sure
Truly.
once I got the feel for it, it would be my preference. But just initially, I was like, man, it just felt like I was on ice.
Yeah. I just bought my first pair of sticks now, so I'm gonna
Okay.
That's
start
weird.
learning the ways.
It's weird. It's weird to see you hold one of those, man.
I feel like I'm culturally appropriating something here,
What inspired that purchase? Is there a game in particular, or?
Well, I mean, yeah, actually, Outer Wilds. Brandon and I were talking about it, or actually, I heard about Brandon talking about it. We weren't talking about it. I was listening to him talk
Yeah.
about it on your podcast, and I checked it out, and I saw these no spoiler reaction videos where they're just like, "That was."
Yeah.
I just
Damn.
thought, hey, man, that sounds pretty vibey. And then the loading screen, which I have not gotten past to, is get yourself a pair of sticks. This is the game to play this way. It's clearly speaking to a PC crowd that is downloading it on Steam, and I really appreciate a publisher or a developer that will like put a screen like that up front, knowing it will improve the player experience. That tells me they care. This will be great for a whole bunch of stuff. And it's pink. Hell yeah, let's go.
I think I got Brandon a pink PlayStation 5 control at some
I know,
point.
it just started drifting. I'm so pissed off. I love
Oh,
that
it's
controller.
drift where like it has like a just
Yeah,
a no movement.
it'll just start drifting
Ugh.
down.
Entirely uncharted territory for
Exactly.
Wylie.
I was gonna say drift.
What is this drift?
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and promote something on here. I don't know if it'll come to fruition, but I hereby announce the DoPL Book Club Game Club. We are all gonna play the Outer Wilds, and listeners, you're welcome to join us. Talk about it in the comments. Let us know what your thoughts are. Also, a cool thing, Brandon, while we're here on it, is at the little birthday shindig at Barcade I was at. It's obvious people we know, so they're more susceptible and likely to be listening, but they're listening, man. Everyone's like, dude, this episode and this episode. Oh, dude, there's the guy from episode 5.
Hey, all right.
So yeah, if you're all listening, those of you who were at my birthday party, etc., fellow listeners, get the Outer Wilds, hang out, and let's talk about it.
I do want to talk about how Valve had its hooks in us. Those head crabs claws were hooked in us big time in my early 20s. I mean, Valve was there for us, man. We were up till 4 a.m. consistently. Again, no family. You're in your 20s at a desk job, and we just had the energy to be able to drink our asses off and play games till 4 a.m. on a school night and it not affecting us. I mean, my Fridays were consistently, I had a routine where every Friday I was hopping on my bike, riding home from Nickelodeon. I would stop at the same liquor store on the way home, Circus Liquor, pick up a new 6-pack of something to try something new. Then I'd go to a taco truck and grab my burrito.
I knew the taco truck was coming. I was like, oh, was the liquor store before the taco truck? I was the taco truck was.
Yeah.
We're learning things. Grab
a burrito, and then I would hunker in. I'd wait for Y to hop on, and we were doing TF2, Left 4 Dead 2.
Oh,
I mean, we were up till
Left 4 Dead.
Remember we tried to get those achievements? Why? I mean, there were so many achievements we would try to get, and they were
Yeah, I
so
mean,
fucking hard.
I remember we had an online friend who had a very X-rated name who was like always
Yeah.
hanging tough with us.
Yeah.
Who was always like, "It's all right. Let's just go one more. It'll be fine. One more. We got it." I just remember being like, "I don't know where you live, man, but it's 3 a.m. here." And
He's like, I'll help you guys get this achievement. He was like a superhero that would like come sweep in. We were all about TF2 achievements too, which were also some of those were very, very difficult achievements to get. I miss those Valve days when like those shorts would drop and you and I would be on our work computers sending each other's links through GChat being like, new Valve short just dropped, new Meet the Team just dropped, and we'd lose our minds.
I don't think we treat music the same way we did
Mm,
once upon in games,
yeah.
actually. I think like theme songs and memorable soundtracks are such a hallmark of games in the last like 20 to 30 years, but not in the last 5 to 10. And I feel like I totally recognize an indie game making concessions with score and stuff like that and just doing something simple. But for titles that had like real money behind them and heft and development power, the soundtrack to Half-Life 2, the soundtrack to some of these like early big games were so good and so atmospheric and so well produced. I do feel like it is a bit of a lost art. I mean, I feel like Ray, you could probably speak to this better than anyone, but
They still exist, but it's definitely few and far between. It's definitely not the focal point like it used to be. And I think the last game to really do it, I brought it up before, but Expedition 33 is getting a lot of great buzz about its soundtrack.
really
Yeah, that's DoPL Club Game Club, game number 2, by the way.
nice. I haven't heard of Expedition 33.
Well, I'm surprised I'm on your radar. Why you definitely got to check that out.
I've vocalized it. I feel like my algorithm will now send it my way somehow.
You've got like 5 ads waiting for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So how about Counter-Strike? You guys have basically covered
Oh,
the entire
yeah.
Valve compendium here. We haven't talked about Counter-Strike. Was that one you guys played?
I mean, I think Counter-Strike was definitely a chapter for us, but it's a style of first-person shooter that is, I don't know, Brandon, what do you think? It's just like it's a little more like intense and aggressive. I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah, a
like
little hardcore.
it's like when you pick up a like a Sunday league, like a bunch of your homies and it's co-ed and it's chill, and like that felt like TF2 where
Yeah.
hey, everybody's having a good time. Like some of us are hungover, and like it's
Yeah.
funny if this guy falls over. And then like Counter Strike felt like the Night League, where these guys are so serious and they might get into a fight on the field, and the games move super fast and people are shoving. I think it was a vibe check for us. We were like, wow, this is so intense.
I picked it up a little bit with like one of my roommates in college, and I was like, "Whoa, this is just not for me. It's just a little bit too
Yeah.
realistic. Like one shot and you're done, and they can
Yeah,
do it behind the
frenetic.
wall."
So your round
Yeah,
is over in 20 seconds sometimes, and then you're sitting
yeah.
around.
I was like, that's not really for me.
It's what the kids these days call sweaty.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Sweaty.
Very sweaty.
That makes total sense. Good job, Gen Z.
The last one down here I have is Dota 2, but I don't know. Is that one you guys played? Definitely not my genre.
It's not my genre either, and I feel like for no good reason. Because didn't our roommate Jason get into it, Brandon?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Dota 2 was kind of the end of Valve's story-based games.
That was it. I suppose you could say that Half-Life Alyx, their VR game, was a sort of an attempt to return to form, but that was so platform
Oh, right. Right.
siloed. Like, I don't know anyone who played it, though the people who did said it was great. But yeah, it always comes back to writing. If you lose your great writers, you're cooked. And the people who wrote Portal 2 specifically, and who did a lot of the writing for TF2 and Half-Life, that magic, that cleverness, I feel like just sort of vanished. They had hit after hit, and then the people who had been there for 20 years at that point just was like, I wrote my symphony.
I mean, I could go into a whole different long story about this, but I went up to Valve because I was like, this is going to be the dream job, right? I really want to go and try to get into video game writing. I ended up meeting some of the Valve programmers at a story conference, and I just shot my shot. And I was like, hey, I see you guys are all wearing Portal jackets. Hey, I'm an animation executive, very interested in video game writing. Let me talk to you. They invited me up to Seattle to go talk with them, and I went up there and I met.
Remember this and being like so amped for you.
I was so pumped, and I remember going to get a little tour, and then I went into the writers' room, and that's where I met Ashley Birch. This is before she was like a huge voiceover actress.
When she was still Hey Ash, what you playing?
Yep. She was part of the writing team, right, for Valve. She was doing voiceover for the assistant, I think. I can't remember. This is the TF2.
Saxon Hale's assistant.
Yes. So she was doing but she was writing, she was doing voiceover, and I remember I was like, hey, how do I get in? How does someone get in? She's like, No, I'm trying to get out. She's like, you work in animation at the studio? Here's my demo reel. Can you slide it over to your casting director? So she was getting out. She was getting out of actually writing, at least at that point, and she was leaving. She was like, we're not doing this anymore. Valve's not writing games anymore. And I was like, oh man, all right.
Wow.
Run!
Yeah.
Run while you still can.
I mean, nothing lasts forever. It's too bad, but we're grateful we had it while we did. Really was like a formative gaming era for me.
Almost exclusively, it feels like.
Brandon, what console did we have when we were at Waring Avenue in that apartment? It was GameCube, right?
Our very first apartment?
In
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Yeah, we had a GameCube.
But I remember, I mean, hours of Tales of Symphonia on that.
Brandon loves his Tales of Symphonia.
a lot of tales ready to play back then.
And then what was the other one that you played a ton of? Beautiful Joe. Did you guys ever play? Ray, did you ever play Beautiful Joe?
That's a Ray game.
Beautiful Joe. Henshin a Go-Go, baby.
that's a Ray game.
Henshin a Go-Go.
That was a great game.
Right. I think that's actually where we started saying think like a game designer, because there was always like some
speed up and slow down and yeah. So
that era of GameCubing was pretty good, yeah, because we did a lot of Beautiful Joe. Do you remember Killer 7 Wide? That really weird artsy game.
Weird, where like the screen would freeze and like it was very sort of artistic.
Grasshopper, Suda 51. Yeah. Killer 7 was crazy.
Speaking of sevens, or games with the 7 in the title, Brandon, do you remember The Seventh Guest?
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Let's go back to PC games. Yeah.
The Seventh Guest. Yeah. All right, let's hear it. Talk to me,
Okay,
guys.
So I just have to say, there was this era in gaming, which I think was defined by The Seventh Guest, or Phantasmagoria, which I feel like Mint also played, where it integrated live actors, like clearly filmed on like a green screen into the digital environment. So you would be moving through these digital environments. Some like hokey actor would like pop out of a closet and ghost across. But to me, I was like blown away.
It was a hybrid of 3D graphics and live acting, or was it all?
Yeah, no, it was a hybrid. So like they sort of appeared clearly keyed like in the hallway that was digitally painted.
Oh, interesting.
Did you ever play Myst?
I know of Myst, and I think I played a demo of it. Really good game. And dude, I remember back then the reviews for that game were like going off.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was a little too young for it when I encountered it the first time, but that was a game that did the same thing. And, you know, graphically, it was like so ahead of its time because a lot of these environments were so static that the only thing in them were these actors who would appear for a little while. Talk about immersive. There was a moment in the game Riven that I like was seared into my memory, where you're walking down to this beach and there's like these two creatures, and if you approach too quickly they swim away, but if you approach slowly you can get up close to them. And I just remember being like, I don't know where this landscape is, but all I want to do is live in this game. That kind of just art design and level design was just like, oh, the creativity behind it, so cool.
Dude, Phantasmagoria, because again, like that same thing, right? You're watching that, it's like cinema. You're watching just actors, you're moving your character. Kind of like Mortal Kombat, you know what I mean? Like you're having the real person on a video game, right?
Right.
But it's like kind of like that, but like this is all like very cinematic. Phantasmagoria had some cutscenes. I was playing that game way too young, peeing my pants because there's a section of the game where you are going through and seeing how this magician that owned this haunted mansion killed all of his wives, and it is gory as hell. I was like, this is so inappropriate, dude. It's burned in my brain to this. I remember as a kid, I was playing this at midnight by myself, and I was like, I'm not going to sleep because it's real, right? You're watching it, real actors. I was like, it's so bad. Yeah.
I feel like it was the first time we felt immersion was actually like a real palpable thing, where I was like, oh, I am the seventh guest in this haunted house. I'm walking through it. I'm opening the door in a way that I don't think I'd encountered before. It catapulted me into the game and made everything more dynamic and terrifying, specifically for those games.
Yeah, Seventh Guest was like a murder mystery, and every room was like a weird puzzle. Again, another game where I felt like I was too dumb because I was like, ooh, these puzzles are really super, super hard.
Yeah, and then they had a follow-up called The 11th Hour, which was also fantastic.
Yeah.
Those kind of like live action video game hybrid games, they're such a relic of their time. It's cool to revisit because they just kind of disappeared. There's no new ones coming out and they're hard to come across. I'll bet if I looked up that game, I bet all those games cost a lot of money to get. It's probably hard to emulate to play on a PC because of the nature of it. It's just like one of those things that nice to archive
Oh my
and
gosh.
It
keep
was
alive.
it was the state of the art, and
I
as soon as the state of the art moved on, that style of game died with it. I
God.
miss those games, man.
Me
I
too, man. They
really
were so
like
good. I love those games.
very story based, Ray. Sadly, but
Story-based games, but they also had puzzles. I mean, that felt like
it's true.
it wasn't a walking simulator. You
Yeah.
had puzzles and you had to
Yeah,
like an inventory that you had to like get smart about and get clever about.
yeah, it's true.
I know I steer away from story-based stuff. I think mostly because I'm just so into twitchy, fast reactive kind of video games. That's not to say I don't like stories. It's just that those kinds of games, which I prefer more often than not, don't hold much of a great story. But at the same time, like I saw K-pop Demon Hunters in theaters for like the 20th time and still managed to like, work some tears out of me. Clearly these games and stories do stuff to me. Definitely a world I should visit more.
We should all play Outer Wilds, and then I'd be so curious to hear your opinion of Half-Life 2. I'd be so interested.
I think
Yeah.
Ray's gonna fall in love with Alex. Speaking of the last episode where we're talking about
doesn't?
our game crushes like that, I forgot about Alex. How can I forget about Alex?
Tastefully dressed, ready for action, like she's like
Say less.
she's the
Say
guy.
less. I'm in love already.
Yeah, she's like the gal you bring home to mom who's
Yeah.
like really practically minded and also somehow effortlessly beautiful. You're like,
She got a whole spin-off named after her, right?
true.
Yeah. I would like for us to do 2 quick games before we go.
Let's do it.
One is at risk of spoiling the story for me, but I don't care. I'll still play it, I promise. From what I understand, the Half-Life series is a bit convoluted, a bit tricky to follow. So what I want to happen here, and I don't care who starts it and I don't care who finishes it, one of you has 15 seconds to start explaining the premise of Half-Life. And then after your 15 seconds are up, the next person has to finish with 15 seconds on their clock.
What do you want, first or second, dude?
Who's starting?
Dude, I can tell you this right now. It's been so long since I've played that game that I don't even remember. Oh,
Okay.
God. I was in second. At least do Half-Life 1, kind of. At least the beginning
Half-Life
part
1
of
was
it.
way simpler.
I know.
Okay,
I don't
I'll start
remember.
with the 15 seconds, and hopefully, Brandon, your memory's cued. All right.
Yeah, I was going to say, let Wiley
all right,
jog your memory.
okay.
Hold on, let me get my timer going. Let me get my timer started. 15 seconds, start now.
You wake up in a city that's dystopian. You don't know why you're there, and this voice tells you that you are part of a larger plot, and you're the perfect person for the job. And now there are aliens on Earth, and you have to meet up
Brandon.
with resistance.
Yeah, you're thrown into the resistance, and I don't remember how this rest of the story goes, dude. I don't remember how
You fight the bad guys, you fight
there's,
the monsters.
there's really
You
tall
fight
bad guys with super tall legs. I don't even remember what those called.
Striders,
Thank you.
you gotta like.
And that's our
there's-
time.
yeah.
Half-Life 2,
there's
everybody.
a man.
Go pick it up. Check it
There's
out.
a man in the briefcase. There's a man in the briefcase.
Great elevator pitch, gang.
It is so confusing, and I think maybe you've hit on a fundamental truth that the story is not as sticky as
Not
what
the
we-
star. It's not the star.
Exactly.
Brandon, it's your turn to give us a tune for Guess That Song.
Oh, all right. I got one. This is gonna be a super easy one.
You said you wanted this week.
All right. I'm gonna do it.
Yes, dude.
Wait.
Yes. it is.
Wait. I feel like I can get it. Can you do it again? This was a triumph.
Yeah.
I was like, that melody's so familiar.
Oof,
Yes.
such a good
The
one.
cake is a lie.
I didn't even have
great song.
that prepared. I was like, you know what? Let's just stick with the theme of the episode.
I thought you were gonna go the valve opening and the boom, 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 boom. The valve loading screen.
I think that'd be too hard.
The Portal song deserves like a Grammy, dude. That was so good.
Oh yeah.
Just in context with the story and GLaDOS.
I had a girlfriend who made me the cake from Portal, and it was,
I don't think I
I
knew
have to
that.
say, like perfect. Yeah, you may have been there to consume some of it.
Oh man,
actually.
that's so good.
It was a perfect replica of that chocolate brown cake that is the end screen, I think, of Portal.
It's got like a strawberry on top
yeah,
or something. Am
yeah,
I crazy?
A couple of them. Yeah, There you go. Good
Okay.
memory.
I have a great memory for the most trivial, like non-essential things. It helps a ton for the podcast. So I
Yes.
guess it's got a purpose.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to go ahead and say goodbye. But Wylie, I know you have already chatted a little bit about 2 Scale, but yeah, just one last time, maybe where can we follow you? Where can we check out some of your work?
I would say you can search the internet for 2 Scale, 2 Scale series, or YouTube, just search 2 Scale. And we don't make a ton of stuff. Our quantity is quite low. We try and turn all that energy into quality. So if you're interested in science and the scale of things, come check us out.
I've seen all that you've got, and the quality is definitely up there, man. It's
Thank you.
some good stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Y.
Thank you,
It's
guys.
been a pleasure.
This
and
is great.
you know what? Yes, it was a bit of a stretch for me, but I was pretty comfortable chatting about Valve, and there was some pockets there for me still.
Yeah,
so I appreciate
you got
that.
I mean, you did good research. You got great history, and you got to do the Ken Burns thing a little bit, where you talk about how it happened.
All right, guys,
Okay.
we'll see you later. Have a good one. See
Later,
you, Wylie.
boys.
Hey, everybody, it's Ray here. Just wanted to thank you for tuning into the Dire Pass Level podcast. If you want to hang out and join us for the next episode, make sure to like and subscribe. That way you're notified when our next episode releases. If you really, really, really liked it, you'd do us a solid if you left us a review. Reviews are a great way to spread the word about our podcast, and the more gamers to share these stories with, the better. All right, we'll see you next week. Have a good one. There we go.